Hello, Youth City. This is Liz Rich coming to you with another edition of Youth City News. Today, I'm reporting from my downtown office in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today's date is Thursday, February 16th, and here are our top stories. Number one, Youth City Leadership Council takes Capitol Hill, and it was big. Our second story today will be a little bit of an I Spy game. Salt Lake City social justice superheroes. Who are they? Where are they? Let's find them. We will report on the Youth City Critical Thinkers Challenge, otherwise known as the Weekly Riddles. And friends, it's the long weekend. We have 4 magical days off, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that and why. But first, our top story. As you may know, we have recently identified and appointed 14 very compelling youth leaders, known as the Youth City Leadership Council. The spring 2023 cohort has been busy advocating on your behalf and being ambassadors to the great work that is done in our city by kids just like you. If you are listening to this news report right now, I'd like you to put your hands together for your YCLC. Give them a round of applause, a little appreciation. Here we go. Good job, team. You're doing awesome. We are thrilled about the young leaders that you are in our community. Just 2 days ago, on February 14th, our YCLCs and many of our Youth City staff took the Capitol, Salt Lake City's Capitol. It is called the Utah State Capitol. We were there by invitation of the Utah After School Network for a compelling event called the Day on the Hill. Youth leaders from across our state and other advocates of after-school work met in this beautiful historic building for an afternoon of advocacy, social justice, learning, friendship, and fun. You will see here our YCLCs all dressed up, many of them in their fanciest outfits, ready to go, and we're there to represent each of you. During this event, they were quizzing people on what after school means and what Youth City is, and then we took a tour of this building and then had some dinner. As you can see here, they are conversing with the public. Excellent job to each of them, and very, very proud of the way that they represented our community and talked about what Youth City is and the importance of after school. In addition, many of you may know this, may not, the YCLCs were invited to provide and create Valentines. Many other Youth City kiddos also provided Valentines. They were assembled into these fun envelopes and delivered to the Utah State Capitol, and were delivered during a committee meeting on the floor of the Utah State Representative and Utah State Senate. So a big thank you and shout out. Now, who you may think, well, who do these Valentines go to? Well, I can tell you right here. This group of leaders are known as the 2023 Utah Senators and Representatives. These are social justice heroes who live in our community. They are elected officials similar to the YCLCs. They serve as legislators and senators, and they make our bills. They write the bills, they write the laws, they balance the budget, they determine how much money schools get, roads get, doctors get, what licensing looks like, what the rules are, what the laws of our land. These are the people who live right in your community, and they represent and advocate for you. And many of you sent them Valentine's Day cards, and some of us actually got to meet these representatives while we were on Capitol Hill. Now, moving on to our next story. First of all, let me just go back. I really want to thank the YCLCs for being so brave and courageous and doing such a great job representing our community. Our second story is referring back to other news programs that you may have tuned into. What is a Salt Lake City social justice superhero? As you know, we live in a wonderful place, and it's a weird little town with a great deal of diversity, and more important, it has really amazing people. So recognizing what makes our city great is its people and its leadership, we want to talk about Salt Lake City social justice superheroes. You've been learning about global and national superheroes, and each of them represent these things. So by review, a social justice superhero advocates for the underserved and underrepresented. They are courageous champions of change. They are really working hard to make the world better. Social justice superheroes fight for equality, equity, empathy, and education. And I know many of you are learning what some of these new words mean. Social justice superheroes elevate critical issues through diplomatic conversations and peaceful protests. This means they're going to say, hey, I see a problem and I'm going to take action. I'm going to raise some awareness and I'm going to let people know that what I am seeing is not okay and we need to fix it. Social justice superheroes defend democracy and demand justice for all. Those who are social justice superheroes are going to fight respectfully for the good of our community, to make sure that everyone gets a seat at the table, that everyone has access to food, to education, to work, to medical care. That's what a social justice superhero does. The social justice superhero will support and sacrifice for all members of the community, both global and national. Social justice superheroes take a significant role in defending human rights, civil rights, education rights, LGBTQ rights, disability rights, environmental rights, labor laws, and access to healthy and clean food. So here are many of the global leaders you've been learning about. We're almost finished meeting all of them through books and videos and stories and conversations, but now it's time to turn our focus a little bit to some local front. What you see here is just a small gathering of Salt Lake City's social justice superheroes. Over the next several weeks, you'll be learning more. And now it's time for you to start doing some investigative reporting of your own. Many of you as children and young people in our community may have played a game once called I Spy with My Little Eye. It is time to use these keen detective skills that you've been developing over the years to start looking deeply in our community to try to find and discover who are the actual Salt Lake City social justice superheroes that live in your neighborhood, that work at your school, that are in your community. So what I want you to do is start using those super spy skills. You've been identifying things and describing things for years as you've played this game, I'm sure, over and over. First is I want you to start thinking about social justice superheroes. What do they look like in real life? What do they do in their real communities? Number two, what would you say if you ever met a real Salt Lake City social justice hero? If you were to come across someone who's actually fought hard to make your community better, what would you say to them? What would you ask them? What would you want to know? Over the next several weeks, we'll be diving a little bit deeper, and I'm asking you to be investigative reporters and try to help me identify who are the social justice superheroes living right here in our hometown. More on this story to come. As I promised, following up with our Youth City Critical Thinkers, the riddle of the week. Now, this has been a very fun new project, and some of you are very excited about it. I'm excited to announce, first of all, the answer to the riddle of last week, and then also share with you the winning team. I want to appreciate and recognize all who are doing that critical thinking to try to figure out what these riddles are and invite you to continue this process. So last week, as we are talking about superheroes, the riddle was, I am light as a feather, yet the strongest person can't hold me for 5 minutes. What am I? What am I? Many curious thinkers want to know. Let me share. I am the breath. I am breath. I am as light as a feather, yet the strongest person can't hold me for 5 minutes. Have you ever tried to hold your breath? How long can you hold your breath? Let's start, everybody. Ready? Big, deep breath. Can't hold it very long because our human bodies aren't so big. They're big enough to keep us alive. The breath we breathe in through our nose and through our mouth, it goes into our lungs, which are like little balloons inside of us, and they will keep us healthy and strong, but they're not endless. So the capacity of your lung can only hold so much breath for so long. And then your body will kick in and it will grasp for air to keep you alive. It's pretty cool about the body. So the winners of last week's riddle competition are, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Drum roll, please. Ottinger Hall. Those critical thinkers of Ottinger Hall have won this riddle contest one more time. Excellent job. And the reward will be delivered to you today. It is a milk and cookies party for the entire site. So if you're at Ottinger Hall right now, I'm sure if you look back, Ebony, Laura, Ian, Frida, Hannah, and Liv are probably preparing a milk and cookies party for you as we speak. Great job, thinkers. Let's see who will take next week's challenge. The riddle for next week is another group challenge. So here we go. Are you ready? They come at night without being called and are lost in the day without being stolen. What are they? They come at night without being called and are lost in the day without being stolen. As a reminder, you will work as a team to solve this riddle. The YCLCs will need to report your collected answer today by 5 o'clock. You will report that by sending me a text from your manager, but the YCLCs need to take the lead on this. The first team to report the correct answer will win a prize next week. I will always share the winner of the riddle and the answer to the riddle during a Youth City News broadcast. They are going to be happening every Thursday as best as we can. And friends, our final news story for the evening is President's Day. Now, we are very excited to recognize and celebrate the great Americans who have been supporting us over the years. The presidents of our country have given us a holiday, which I think is truly their greatest act of community service. As you may know, our school and work week usually ends after a full day on Friday, which gives us a weekend, which is normally 2 days. But thanks to our Salt Lake City School District calendaring team and our United States presidents, let's double that. Now we have a 4-day weekend. Just as you are making your big plans, please know there is no school and no Youth City Friday tomorrow. Of course, no school and Youth City on Saturday and Sunday. There never is, nor will there ever be. And Monday, February 20th, is our bonus day off. It is in recognition of the US presidents. And all I have to say at this point is, friends, God bless America and all that is great in this country. I will be signing off and letting you know I appreciate the good work you're doing. As a review, thank you to the YCLCs for compelling work this week. Please be watching out for Salt Lake City social justice superheroes and think through that riddle to see if you can earn a prize for next week and enjoy your 4-day weekend. That's all I've got for today, friends. Thanks so much. This is Liz Rich with YouthCity News, signing off, and goodbye.